Hey there. Hey, I couldn't find croissants on the map, but I'm on Camino now. Oh, hey, look, there's some people. Hang on one second. Let me see if they might be able to help me out. Hey, guys. So, some guy that looks like a scrotum sent me this way. He wanted me to pick up order number 66. Do you guys know where I can find one of those? No takers? So I bet you're wondering how I got here. Let me start from the beginning. Okay. Video's recording, audio's recording. Perfect. Long story short, I was getting ready to film a video, but then I saw this stranger in the distance. And how they... Who is that? I'm usually the only one around these parts, so I walk over and ask him if he needed help. And he says,
"Do you seek power?"
To which I respond, "Sure, I guess." Then he gave me a self-navigating jetpack, and, well... So I just have to put on this jetpack? Oh no, not again! Now I'm here. I've been in this new land, or rather this galaxy far, far away, for about 2 weeks now, and boy do I have a lot to share. I am Illithid, and this episode will just be about Blade and Sorcery's most popular mod of all time, The Outer Rim by Kingo64. As usual, I'm playing the PC version on U12, and a Nexus mods link for this mod can be found in the description. Before we dive into it, I should mention that I'm not going to go over the lore about everything in this mod, mainly because I'm not big on Star Wars, so I know very little about it. I think that this could be beneficial though, because I'll be giving my unbiased thoughts on this mod, plus I can finally see some of the things that I've always heard about. Now where do I begin? This mod just adds so many things. Let's quickly go over the in-game mod options to get started. Looking through it, there are various settings that allow you to adjust some of the attributes of the blasters and lightsabers. Personally, I didn't touch any of the settings because the default configuration already felt good to use. Moving on from the mod options, I know exactly what you came here for, because it's the same thing that I was looking forward to the most. Behold, the lightsaber. The Outer Rim brings 138 of them to Blade and Sorcery. When you spawn them from the item book, you'll notice that only the handle appears. The blade can be activated by simply tapping the spell wheel button while you're holding it. The majority of them are in the form factor of a sword without a handguard, but there are several options that resemble a sword with a handguard, and even a dual-bladed staff. But that's not all. There are a few melee weapons that are not sword-like, such as the Light Axe, the Shroud Waker, which is like a scythe, the Sith Lightsaber Pike, and the Saber Cestus. Regardless of the type of weapon, they all share one thing in common, and that's the plasma blade that can cut through just about anything. However, some of them are unique in that they have special abilities that can be triggered by holding the spell wheel button. Let's talk about how they look. I'll be talking mainly about the handles because the plasma blades look similar across the board with variance in length and width. But the color and effects are influenced by the kyber crystal that's installed. More on those crystals in a minute. But holy cow, do these look good. Firstly, the models themselves are outstanding. Some of them have really cool designs, but even on the simple ones, I can see the level of detail in shaping each groove, curve, and corner. I really like this because it isn't relying on the textures to give the appearance of those details. Secondly, the textures and materials on them are fantastic. Nothing stands out as overly shiny, plastic looking, or pixely. If I were to see a lightsaber in real life, I would expect it to look exactly like this. Now my favorite thing to talk about. Performance. How do these guys hold up in combat? They're alright. In all seriousness, they feel great to use. The lightsabers all perform how you would imagine a laser sword would. They're lightweight, make dismemberment super easy, and they kill quickly.
Another one, and another one. Another one.
All of them are able to be recalled after being thrown by pressing the grip button. Some of them have unique abilities that can be activated by pressing and holding the spell wheel button. For instance, the ones with the circular handles can spin, and some of them, like Darth Vader's, can grow 3 inches.
Oh my.
So about those kyber crystals that I mentioned. Each lightsaber can be customized by replacing the kyber crystal. This can be done by touching the lightsaber tool, which is found in the kyber crystal category, to where the plasma blade extends from on the handle. Then you simply need to touch the new kyber crystal to that same spot, and it's installed. Weapons with multiple plasma blades have multiple kyber crystals so you can mix and match. I don't think it does anything other than change the appearance and the sound effects of the blade, but it's a way to create a lightsaber that matches your preference. Speaking of effects, these lightsabers have their own effects that make them that much more awesome. You have the sound of extending and retracting the blade, the sound of striking with it, and even just waving it around has that whooshing sound effect. Then there are the visual effects. The effects can vary with the kyber crystal you have installed, but they all emit light, leave light trails, and leave scorch marks on the surfaces that you strike. The only oddity that I encountered was from using Pong Krell's lightsaber staff. For some reason, activating its ability to fold and unfold affects your grip on it. It didn't happen with any of the other lightsaber staffs though, but it's only a minor issue that can easily be fixed by re-gripping the weapon. In my opinion, the lightsabers alone are worth getting this mod. However, due to the nature of these weapons, they are extremely overpowered against the enemies in Blade and Sorcery. Let's move on to the next weapon group, the blasters. These are a collection of firearms from the Star Wars universe. Most of them fire laser beams, but there are a few that appear to fire regular bullets that still look like beams. You can change the firing mode on most of them by tapping the spell wheel button, and some have secondary ammo that can be toggled by holding the spell wheel button for a second. So if you're tired of lasering your enemies, you can just switch to the other ammo and just make them forget how to use their legs.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Some of the items in this section are duplicates that include scope attachments. Since these attachments can't be modified, I like that the mod author included both left-handed and right-handed versions, so all players can enjoy. The zoom on all the scopes can be adjusted by grabbing it and pressing the spell wheel button to zoom in. This really comes in handy when you need to take out a guard from afar to break into a facility.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
I'm not going to talk too much about how these look, because just like the lightsabers, they all look really good. I do want to mention that some of them have a neat ammo display that shows how many shots you have left before a reload. Although most of these blasters fire the same type of ammo, they all perform differently. Some fire quicker than others, some more accurate, and some just completely vaporizing your enemies. The automatic firing weapons do have a spray pattern that gets wider the longer you hold the trigger, although this can be circumvented by tap firing instead of holding the trigger. And I can't forget about the sound effects. I want to say that they all sound differently, and some even have a charging or reloading sound effect. While you can't customize the attachment or the appearance of the blasters themselves, you can customize the color of the beams and the reticles. Towards the bottom of the blaster section, you'll find these power cells. All you have to do to change the beam color is to simply touch the narrow end of the power cell to the magazine on the blaster. There are some blasters where the magazine isn't easily found, so in those cases, you can just run the power cell along the blaster until you find that special spot. Stepping away from the items for a bit, something else that the Outer Rim mod adds is a variety of maps. The maps included take you to the planets Felucia, Naboo, Tatooine, and Kamino. Hey, I couldn't find croissant on the map, but I'm on Kamino. There's also one that takes you on board the Ebon Hawk. You can access these from the map board by tapping the left arrow towards the top of the world map. For some reason, the right arrow doesn't take you to it. With the exception of the Ebon Hawk and Jabba's Palace, all of the maps here are large and small versions of each other, with the small versions being the ones with arena in the name. I like this because although the large versions are just amazing to see, the arena maps load a lot quicker so you can get right into the action. While we're on the topic of load time, the large maps do take a considerable amount of time to load. There were moments where I thought it just froze my game, but just be patient and it'll continue to do its thing. Out of all of the maps, I'd say that Tatooine took the longest to load. All the maps are fantastic though. Like, look at this and tell me you're not impressed. Some maps have things you can adjust from the world map. Like on Kamino, you have rain effects that can be adjusted. Similar thing with Felucia, except you can adjust the grass. And if you're unsure what a setting does, pointing to it with your cursor will make a short description pop up on that pinned piece of paper next to the map. All of the maps in this mod feature custom sound effects from the environment and custom battle music. Oh, my game crashed. No! Going back to the items now. The Outer Rim adds 42 pieces of armor. The majority of these are helmets, but there are 3 variants of the Tusken Raider garment available as well. A lot of the helmets are different types of stormtrooper helmets, but there are a handful of helmets worn by main characters such as Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, and Revan, just to name a few. I don't have much to say about them because it's just armor. They all look good, and I like how you can wear the Sith hood over any other helmet, although the bulkier helmets do clip through the hood, and some of the helmets are a bit revealing. Alright, so I'm just gonna do a quick... Oh! I have a big ass bald spot in the back of my head because of this helmet. If you like Star Wars armor, there are plenty of other Star Wars armor sets that can be found on Nexus mods. I'm not going to review them here, but if you wanted to add on to what the Outer Rim mod already brings, perhaps you might download them from the Nexus and try them out yourself. Last but not least, I'm going to talk a bit about the last item category and some other things that the Outer Rim adds. The last item category is called Outer Rim, and it contains things from jetpacks to comms devices that can summon allies to non-lightsaber melee weapons. Some of the items don't look as good as the rest, but they're there just in case you wanted a break from the lightsabers. That's coming from this weapon, by the way. If you wanted to quickly explore these maps, I would suggest equipping the jetpack. Oh shit, I landed too hard. What's cool about it is that you just need an empty shoulder slot to equip it. After equipping it, you can still use that shoulder slot for storage, and the jetpack can be controlled by pressing up and down on the right joystick. Unequipping the jetpack is similar to unequipping a bow quiver. Just press the trigger followed by the grip, but make sure you're doing it over an empty shoulder slot as if you were equipping it. If you've been watching the video, you probably noticed that some of these enemies look different. Well, this mod also adds additional enemy character models and vocalizations for some of them. You can fight against them by selecting one of many waves also provided by this mod. You can pick anything from simple 1v1 or 1v2 to various types of war zones, and there are also some fun scenarios like Jedi Ambush, Bounty Hunters, and one called the Emperor's Bidding where, I'll let you find that one out actually. And the last thing that I wanted to mention are the loading screen tips. This mod does add a handful of them, and they are actually really helpful. Like, I wouldn't have known things like how some lightsabers have unique abilities if I didn't read the tips. Alright, well, I think I have everything I need. I just need to go home, put it all together, and upload it to the internet. So, can one of you guys drop me off at my house? Oh, come on! To summarize everything up, I can definitely see why this is the most popular Blade and Sorcery mod. Not just because it's Star Wars, but because of the amount of stuff and the detail that went into every piece of this mod. Honestly, this feels like it should be official DLC for the game. I mean, technically it is DLC in a way, but I hope you know what I mean. And that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a blast to make. I'll see myself out now. Thank you to everyone for watching. My current upload schedule is a video every other Saturday, but I might start uploading small things here and there if time permits. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos as they come out. See you next time.